It's finally happening. Today is September 24th. It may look like an ordinary date on the calendar, but just beneath the surface of that ordinariness, a fracture has taken place. On September 22nd, the Autumn Equinox marked a temporary balance of light and darkness in the sky. But that balance was only on the surface. Behind it, a deeper, older, and far more radical shift has been set in motion. The frequencies of reality have begun to separate. A kind of inner selection is unfolding, not something that disappears, but something that crosses over. Today, one version of you remains behind while another version, more awake, more alive, more real, steps forward. This is not a story of vanishing, it is the story of stepping onto another dimension by standing firmly on your own soul. While the equinox appeared to balance the scales on the surface, in the deeper layers the scales tilted, forcing you to decide which version of yourself continues. This energy is not only bringing individual transformation, it is also weighing and reshaping your surroundings. Those who once overlooked you, those who underestimated you, will begin to see you differently today. They will feel an attraction they cannot explain. This is not a show of power or dominance, it is the field itself being rearranged. The truth you carry can no longer remain silent, but there is also a warning. In the midst of this shift, being among crowds surrounded by their vibrations can weaken your spiritual field, because today energies will mingle, light and shadow will begin walking side by side. If the frequency of the crowd pulls you in, you may miss the resonance of the new vibration. That is why you must guard your intention, steady your breath, and keep your field clear. This is not a call to fear. It is a call to awareness, because today doors are opening quietly for some, shaking violently for others. Hold your focus, trust the compass of your heart, and know that this date may be aligned to lift you into a higher awareness. Stay until the end of this video, because only at the end will the true message be revealed. What this energy is asking of you, what step you must take, and why this date may define your destiny. If you miss it, you may pass over one of the most critical turning points of your life, without even realizing it. But if you stay and listen, you will see how this crossing can be turned in your favor. And if this frequency has already touched your heart, write 77 in the comments, so the entire universe knows you are among those who walk through this new doorway. If you thought you were awake before, today makes it clear you've only been standing at the entrance. What happened on September 24th is not another echo of past awakenings, not a recycling of old lessons. This is sharper, heavier, and far less forgiving. The earlier awakening cracked open your sight just enough to make you curious, to let you taste the possibility of more. But this one, it strips away the scaffolding entirely. This rapture isn't about vanishing into thin air, it's about watching your old life dissolve, while the truer self takes its first full breath. The ground you once trusted has been pulled apart, and no matter how tightly you cling, the architecture of your old world can't carry you anymore. The safety nets you've been leaning on are not being repaired, they're being burned away. What's happening now is not a rehearsal, it's the upgrade your soul resisted, but secretly prayed for. Expect clarity that refuses to be negotiated, that job you tolerated, that relationship you excused, that environment you convinced yourself was fine. Today it becomes unbearable. The air itself feels thinner inside situations that no longer match your vibration. And while it may not arrive as a thunderclap, the pressure will be unrelenting. Every day after this point will push you harder into alignment, as if the universe itself no longer has patience for delay. The equinox did not just balance day and night, it rearranged the way reality responds to you. Where once your voice was ignored, you will notice people pausing, remembering, replaying things you've said. Where you were invisible, suddenly there's weight in your presence. But understand, this shift doesn't come without cost. To hold this new position, you must release what belonged to the old frequency. You cannot keep both. You cannot walk in two timelines. This is where the real pressure begins. Those who try to hold on to their former comfort while reaching for the new will feel as if they are suffocating between two worlds. It's like trying to inhale in one atmosphere while exhaling in another. Confusion creeps in. Restlessness grows. The routines that once dulled the ache now feel hollow, tasteless, and yet stepping forward feels terrifying because it demands a death of what once defined you. For some, this tension will manifest emotionally, sudden bursts of sadness, frustration, or emptiness, with no visible trigger. For others, it takes root in the body. Exhaustion that doesn't match physical activity, or nervous energy that keeps sleep impossible. These aren't random symptoms. They are the collision of two realities within the same frame of existence. And the longer someone resists the split, the heavier the strain becomes. But here's the secret. None of this is punishment. It's an initiation. The discomfort itself is proof that the old framework is expired. The tension is the universe whispering, this no longer belongs to you. The walls pressing in are not crushing you. They're collapsing what you were never meant to carry forward. Surrender doesn't mean weakness. It means turning your face toward the current that has been waiting for you all along. If you felt unsettled, torn between craving the unknown and clinging to the familiar, understand this. You are not broken. You are crossing the weight, the unease, the sense that life doesn't fit anymore. This is the sound of the hull crack. And the moment you stop fighting, everything changes. What felt like suffocation becomes breath. What looked like loss becomes lightness. The equinox's hidden gift is precisely this. It forces you to stop standing between doors. It demands a choice, but in doing so, it rescues you from limbo. This is why being surrounded by crowds right now can feel dangerous. Collective vibrations collide in ways that overwhelm your personal frequency. Light and dark are walking side by side in the same spaces, blending, pulling at one another. If you immerse yourself in the noise of the masses, your field weakens, and you risk slipping back into what you've just been freed from. Protect your solitude. Protect your space. Protect the fragile glow of this rebirth. The universe does not forget those who gave without return, those who endured invisibility while carrying light. The rapture of this equinox is not only a test, it is also a correction, a payout, a redistribution of spiritual weight. Those who carried truth quietly are no longer muffled. Their presence rearranges a room. Their energy bends the air. Their silence is louder than the shouting of the world. And this is only the beginning. From this day forward, the chosen ones can no longer be hidden. The equinox has tilted the scales, and everything that follows will reveal who has the courage to walk in the new light, and who will cling to shadows that cannot last. For years, many of you have carried invisible weight. You gave when nobody gave back. You stood tall when no one offered support. You fought battles in silence while the world looked away. Your sacrifices often felt wasted, unseen, unrewarded. But today, the scales tilt. The equinox has called in what was owed. Think of every tear, every sleepless night, every moment you chose truth over convenience. None of it disappeared. It all accumulated like interest in an unseen account. And today, the vault has cracked open. The equinox has released what has been stored. This release is not vague or symbolic. It arrives in the form of alignments, opportunities, breakthroughs, and sudden openings that tilt life in your favor. At first, it may come as subtle signs, a conversation that carries unexpected weight, a small door swinging open where it was sealed shut, a moment where what once resisted you suddenly gives way. Then, larger waves will follow. Recognition, vindication, momentum that reminds you nothing you endured was wasted. This isn't revenge, it's restoration. The equinox doesn't punish on your behalf. It magnifies you until denial is impossible. Your scars have become credentials. Your endurance is now proof you are ready. What once weakened you has hardened into spiritual authority. And the most important truth, this change is not temporary. Once the shift begins, it cannot be rolled back. Your unseen season has ended. The season of being seen has begun. But here lies the urgency. The equinox is not an endless portal. Twice a year, the axis of the Earth balances perfectly. For just a few hours, the tilt ceases. Light and dark hang in exact equilibrium. That pause is not just symbolic, it's mechanical. It is a doorway in the architecture of time itself. If you step through it consciously, you access alignments unavailable on ordinary days. If you miss it, the door shuts and will not reopen for 6 months. And in this world, 6 months is a lifetime. Think of everything that changes in half a year. Relationships unravel, opportunities vanish, paths shift. That is why this moment matters. Today is not simply a date, it is an appointment with your evolution. You either honor it or postpone it. There is no neutral ground. And yet here is the paradox. The portal does not announce itself with trumpets or flashing lights. Most people walk past it without even noticing. It whispers, not shouts. It nudges, not forces. And only those willing to pause to quiet themselves, to detach from the noise of the crowd, hear its invitation. This is why being entangled in the collective vibration today is dangerous. The portal is subtle, the crowd is loud. In the noise of thousands of restless frequencies colliding, you risk missing the signal that was meant for you. Understand this clearly. What is happening right now is not calm balance, it is collision. Light is not gently blending with darkness, it is smashing into it. Shadows are bleeding into light, and light is piercing into shadows. That chaos creates spiritual static. It explains why so many feel extremes. One moment craving silence, the next desperate for company. One day, overflowing with peace, the next restless, irritable, even volatile. This volatility is not random, it is the friction of energies clashing. And if you place yourself in crowded spaces today, you expose yourself to the turbulence of souls who have no idea what is happening. Their confusion becomes your confusion. Their fear leaks into your field. Their anger rattles your balance. Being surrounded by chaotic vibration is like standing in a storm with no shelter. You cannot help but get soaked. That is why solitude is not a luxury right now. It is survival. Protecting your field is protecting your future. This doesn't mean isolating forever. It means choosing wisely who you allow into your energy at this threshold. Because make no mistake, thresholds are fragile. They can be crossed or missed. And if your focus is drowned out by the resonance of the crowd, you may walk right past the door you came here for. So listen, the equinox does not wait. The rapture is moving, pressing, colliding. It is not peace at first, it is disruption, but disruption with purpose. Like iron striking fire, it produces sparks that ignite what has been dormant in you. Your task is not to chase the noise of the world, but to guard the flame being lit within you. That flame, once steady, will guide you through the chaos. But if you let the storm of other people's fear blow it out, you will find yourself standing in the dark, wondering why you still feel stuck while others have crossed over. Today is not about circles. Today is about line. It is the invisible line that now divides everything. Your choices, your relationships, your opportunities, even your own identity. On one side of that line lies the old world, familiar, predictable, heavy. On the other side is the new frequency, uncertain, uncharted, but alive. And the truth is simple. You cannot plant your feet on both sides anymore. The equinox has made neutrality impossible. The crowd will try to blur this line for you. They will insist that nothing has changed, that life continues as always, that you are imagining the pressure in your chest and the electricity in your veins. They will laugh at your sense that reality has split, because admitting it would force them to choose as well. But you know better. You feel it. The heaviness of being among them is proof enough. Their denial is not your clarity. Their blindness is not your vision. Look closely at the people around you. You will see the split in their eyes. Some will glow with a quiet hunger for truth, unable to ignore the whisper in the air. Others will sink deeper into distraction, chasing noise, clinging to habits that are already collapsing. Their presence tells you which path they've chosen, even if they cannot admit it themselves. And here is the danger. If you entangle yourself too tightly with those who refuse the crossing, you risk being pulled back into their cycles. Energy is contagious. Fear spreads faster than faith when left unchecked. That is why you are urged to protect your light like sacred fire. One careless moment in the wrong company can scatter months of alignment. You don't need to isolate forever, but you do need to be deliberate. This season is not about pleasing everyone. It is about preserving your flame. The signs of this shift are everywhere, though subtle enough that most overlook them. Time feels distorted. Hours vanish or drag. Dreams are vivid, layered, almost prophetic. Your body may ache in strange ways, as though recalibrating. Emotional waves crash without warning. One moment calm, the next restless, the next on the verge of tears. These are not weaknesses. They are signals of the rapture weaving itself through every layer of your being. Patience is essential. The equinox does not reward panic or rushing. It rewards steadiness. It opens to those willing to wait in stillness until the subtle click of alignment unlocks what is meant for them. Those who thrash, demand, or try to force outcomes will find only resistance. The doorway cannot be pried open by willpower. It opens naturally when you are ready. The collective, however, is restless. Entire societies sense that something is shifting. Old systems creak under the weight of collapse. People grasp for control, for certainty, for distraction. You will see extremes play out. Sudden anger, irrational choices, bursts of volatility in people who seemed steady before. This is not coincidence. It is the clash of energies colliding. The old world is buckling, and those who cling to it are unraveling with it. Your role as a chosen one is not to fix the crowd. It is to hold steady when others collapse. It is to become a living signal of alignment. When you protect your light, when you stand firm in clarity, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. You are not meant to drown in their panic. You are meant to be the calm shoreline they can see from the storm. And yet, you must also accept this truth. Not everyone will cross with you. Some will choose to stay behind. Some will cling to the crumbling familiar even as it destroys them. Letting go will hurt, but refusing to let go will cost you more. The equinox does not negotiate with attachments. It demands surrender, and surrender is what frees you to step into what waits beyond. So watch for the coordinates, watch for the whispers, watch for the alignments that pull you forward. A stranger repeating your thoughts back to you. A door opening at the exact moment you needed it. A delay that saves you from harm. These are not accidents. They are confirmations that you are walking the line correctly. The more you honor them, the louder they become. The months ahead will not be gentle. The split has already begun, and the tension between the old and the new will intensify. But if you remember this line, if you guard your energy, listen to the whispers and surrender the expired, you will not just endure, you will run. Because the rapture is not chaos for chaos's sake. It is chaos with direction. It is disruption with a purpose. It is not trying to destroy you. It is trying to destroy what no longer belongs to you. And once that weight is gone, you will discover how light you were always meant to be. The further you walk into this season, the more you will feel the subtle split in reality, shaping your daily life. The line is not just a spiritual metaphor. It is an energetic wall that some people cross with ease and others resist with every breath. And because the veil is thin, the resistance of others is not hidden. You can see it in their eyes, hear it in their tone, feel it in the weight of their presence. It radiates from them like static, clouding the air around them. This is why discernment is no longer optional. Once you could tolerate long stretches of compromise, staying too long in draining relationships, lingering in jobs that suffocated your soul, entertaining conversations that led nowhere. The energy of the equinox no longer allows it. The dissonance becomes painful. What you once endured now feels unbearable. And that is not weakness. It is alignment. Your body has become an instrument finely tuned to truth. Pay attention to its signals. A sudden headache in a crowded place. A tightness in the chest around certain people. An unexplained exhaustion after small talk. These are not random. They are your spirit warning you of interference. In the same way, a surge of calm in solitude, a lightness when you step into certain spaces, a sense of electricity when you meet particular souls. These are confirmation. Your body does not lie in this season. It reveals exactly where the line is. And here is what many will not understand. Solitude is not punishment. It is protection. It is not emptiness. It is incubation. In solitude, the whispers of the portal become audible. The signs align. The inner compass steadies. If you rush back into the noise of the crowd to escape your discomfort, you risk losing the very clarity the rapture is trying to give you. The collective is unraveling, and you cannot anchor yourself to its panic. Entire groups are thrashing between denial and fear. They sense change but cannot name it, so they cover it with distraction. You will see people doubling down on habits, chasing louder entertainment, arguing over smaller things, trying desperately to pretend that nothing has shifted. Do not confuse their denial for reality. The split is real, whether they admit it or not. In the months ahead, this split will widen. Those who resist will grow heavier, angrier, more volatile. Those who cross will grow lighter, clearer, more magnetic. You will notice the difference more each day. The same world, but two realities overlapping, and the choice of which one you live in depends not on chance, but on alignment. Chosen ones, this is why your role matters. You are not just crossing for yourself. You are holding open a signal for others who are on the edge, uncertain, trembling. When you protect your energy, when you live in integrity with the new vibration, you become a lighthouse. Not everyone will follow, but some will, and their awakening may depend on your steadiness. But never forget, you cannot drag anyone across the line. To try is to tear yourself apart. Your task is not to force, but to embody, not to shout louder, but to radiate clearer. The energy will do the work. The equinox has already tilted the scales in your favor. The weight is shifting. Invisibility is breaking. Presence is returning. All you need to do is remain faithful to the light entrusted to you. The truth is this: every step you take now either reinforces your alignment or erodes it. There is no middle ground. Neutrality is gone. The rapture has made every choice matter more, echo louder, ripple farther. Even the smallest decision, what you consume, who you listen to, where you place your attention, creates immediate consequences. This is why so many feel pressure building in their daily routines. What was once casual has become defining. Do not fear this. The pressure is proof of the upgrade. It is evidence that the field around you is alive, responsive, attuned. The universe is no longer letting you drift unconsciously. It is requiring participation. It is calling you into conscious creation. The silence of the past, when your efforts seemed ignored, has been replaced with responsiveness. You speak, and things move. You act and doors shift. The turnaround is quicker now, because the veil is thinner. But remember, responsiveness cuts both ways. If you entangle yourself in low frequencies, if you feed on fear, gossip, distraction, the consequences also come quicker. Confusion grows sharper, doors slam harder, energy drains faster. The rapture amplifies everything, for better or worse. That is why vigilance is not paranoia, it is survival. Guarding your light is no longer optional. It is the only way forward. Watch the collective, and you will see the split dramatized. People who cling to the old vibration will spiral into extremes: irrational anger, obsessive distractions, emotional volatility. Their worlds will feel heavier, more suffocating, and they will not understand why. Meanwhile, those who choose alignment will begin to glow with a strange calm, even in chaos. They will attract clarity, provision, opportunities. It will seem unfair, but it is not. It is balance. The scales have been corrected. This correction is why your scars matter. Everything you endured in silence has become your qualification. The ridicule, the rejection, the invisibility, it was all training. It carved resilience into your bones. It sharpened your discernment. It proved you could hold your light without applause, without validation. Now that the equinox has shifted the field, those same scars make you magnetic. The very things that weakened you are now the marks that set you apart. And yet, do not mistake this for ease. The rapture is not comfort. It is collision. It is the tearing apart of what no longer belongs. It is the confrontation of illusions. The ground may shake, relationships may crack, systems may collapse. Do not panic. Do not cling. The destruction is not your enemy. It is the release of what could not come with you. The storm is breaking cages, not breaking you.
This is why patience is critical. The temptation will be to demand quick answers, to force clarity, to rush the process. But rushing leads you back into the crowd, into noise, into distortion. Hold stillness, breathe, listen. The whispers are precise, but they require quiet. The signs are constant, but they require attention. Those who wait, who steady themselves, who allow the process to unfold, these are the ones who cross fully.
In the months ahead, the gap will widen. Some will grow increasingly restless, spinning in circles of denial. Others will walk straighter, lighter, stronger. The same world will host two realities, overlapping but not mixing. You will feel it in conversations, in communities, even in families, and you will be asked again and again, which one do you belong to? So let this be your reminder. You cannot live in both. The old world cannot hold the new you. The crowd cannot recognize the chosen version of you. You must decide daily, deliberately, to protect your alignment. Every sunrise after the equinox will test it. Every interaction will ask it. Every whisper of intuition will invite it. And each time you choose, the path clears a little. Each time you honor the light, the line beneath your feet strengthens, until one day, soon you will realize, you are no longer standing on the edge of two worlds. You have crossed. You are anchored, and the storm that once terrified you has become the wind that carries you. The storm that once terrified you has become the wind that carries you, and with every step, the realization grows stronger. You were never meant to simply survive this season. You were meant to emerge from it, transformed. The equinox rapture was never about erasing you. It was about revealing you. Every scar, every silence, every sacrifice has converged into this moment, sharpening you into someone the old world could not contain. This is the hour when the hidden ones become undeniable. For years, your voice was dismissed, your light ignored, your truth overlooked. But the balance has shifted, the scales have turned, and now the very field of reality is tilting in your favor. This is not a trick of perception, it is the mechanics of the cosmos. When the axis of the earth stills, when light and dark balance perfectly, the veil thins, and the currents reset. That reset has marked you. This is not a gift handed casually, it is a responsibility. The portal has not opened, so you can cling to the old self. It has opened, so you can step into alignment with who you were always destined to be. That is why the pressure has been so intense, why the stripping away has felt merciless. The rapture does not crown the false, it crowns the authentic, and authenticity requires surrender. Look around you. Systems are faltering. The collective is restless. People cling desperately to distractions. Their denial is loud, but it cannot silence the truth. The split has happened. Two worlds now overlap, one heavy with confusion, one alive with clarity. You cannot live in both. Each sunrise demands your choice again. Chosen ones, your choice is not small, it reverberates. When you rise, others see the signal. When you guard your light, others remember their own. When you walk in alignment, you carve a path through the chaos. Without preaching, without forcing, you are guiding. The weight you carried in silence has become fuel. The storms that once broke you are now proof, and proof cannot be denied. Alignment is not a single act, it is a daily choice. Some days it flows with ease, other days it feels like a flood. But the more you honor the light, the more the flood parts before you. You were not called to escape the world, but to remake it with your presence. The storm will rise, but it cannot move you. The equinox has crowned you with alignment, and once the door is open, there is no turning back. You are no longer hidden. Delay is over. Emergence has begun. Step boldly, because when you rise, others rise too. The rapture is not prophecy. It is now. The line is drawn. The door is open. Will you step through? Share this video so more people can hear this message. Now the floor is yours.